Welcome back to the Slice of Anime podcast. This is the podcast where we go over everything in the last week in the anime world, whether that be figures or anime news in general. We also go over a little topic, whatever I might come up with for the week or whatever might be relevant at that time, and discuss a few other things that might be fun to talk about or that are topical at the time. If you'd like to see this and many more videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And let's get right on into the news. So we have a news-heavy episode today because there was a lot of stuff that came out and has been talked about and everything, and I don't really know why. San Diego Comic-Con is happening this weekend, but there really isn't anything from San Diego Comic-Con that I found noteworthy enough to talk about here. But there is a lot of other stuff to talk about, so let's get right on into that. The first thing here is a pretty fun one. For you Australian and New Zealand fans, there are news that a Hatsune Miku concert, or Miku Expo 2024, is coming to New Zealand and Australia this year. They will be beginning in November on between the 15th and the 26th. That will be when the concert takes place. So you can check that out whenever it becomes available. No news of like venues or anything at this moment, but I'm sure they will be coming very soon. So stay tuned for that. Also, we got a bunch of animes being announced, and we also got a lot of mangas that were ending. The first of which is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro did end its manga adaptation. It went through 20 volumes, and I am behind on the manga. I have it as it releases in English, so I am behind on that. But I did hear from people that were not upset with it just because they don't like romance anime, and they don't know how to understand romance anime, so they blindly hate it. But the people that really do enjoy it, they seemingly had positive feelings towards the end of it, so I'm very happy with that. Another one that ended here is another one that was kind of in the teasing genre, and that was the former teasing master Takiya-san, the one where Taki and Nishikata are older and they have chi. That has come to an end as well. Now, the main manga ended last year. This one is coming to an end now. So seemingly this is the end of the Takiya-san series, and it's one of my favorites, so I'm kind of upset with this one. We have never gotten this specific manga in English. I do have a lot of it in Japanese as physical versions. I am very happy to have that, and I hope to get the rest of it very soon to complete the series. But unfortunately, it seems like it has come to an end, and nothing really new on the way. The author is making a new series about, I believe it's baseball? I don't know. It's three girls, and they run a sports club. So, could be interesting. Something different. It's not just a, standard romance thing. Might be interesting. So, we'll check it out as it releases. Hopefully, it will get a English release. Unlike In the Heart of Tsubaki, or Kanochi Tsubaki, did not get one, and former teasing master Takiya-san didn't get a print release either, or an English release at all. So hopefully, unlike those two, and like the main series, Teasing Master Takiya-san, and When Will IMU Make His Move, both of them did get English prints, so hopefully this new series will get an English print as well. Now, we did get a few anime adaptations being announced, or season 2s, or whatever. And the first of those was I Have a Crush at Work anime adaptation. Now, I mentioned this one just because I thought it really seemed interesting. From the brief synopsis that I saw online, the visuals that we saw, I think it really looks like it might be interesting. This is coming in 2025, so we will have to see how that is whenever it arrives. But two more that I think are very interesting. The first of those is Licorice Recoil is getting six more anime episodes. They really didn't specify on how long they'd be, whether they're going to be like 5-minute shorts, or if they're going to be full-length episodes. I lean more towards them being just shorts, but we are getting 6 more. And from the seemingly, I couldn't really find if they're going to be done by different artists, or different directors, different artists, different directors, one of the two. But I couldn't really determine whether that meant they're going to have like different art style or what, and it's just going to be based in the same world. There are slice of life that are not like driving the plot forward, so we're going to have to see how they are. Hopefully they do get a English release and they are aired on Crunchyroll or whatever, unlike Quintessential Quintuplets, who had new anime airing and they just didn't release it. So hopefully we get that. We'll have to see. Next thing here, and the final thing that I'm going to talk about in the news segment for regular anime, is that a couple of Cuckoos is getting a season 2. I didn't expect this. I thought it would never get a season 2, to be honest, and it is. No word if it's going to be 2 cores like the first season was. I would think it would be, but maybe not. Maybe it's just going to be 12 episodes, but hopefully it is. I am looking forward to this one. I am behind on the manga. Pretty much I'm caught up where season 1 ended. I'm a little bit past that, but not as far in as season 2 will go. But once again, an anime series that has gotten 2 seasons now and has not got a print release in English. It did get a digital release in English, but it didn't get a print release. So maybe we'll get one now. I don't know, but hopefully. But that is it for the news segment, but we're going to introduce a little bit of a different segment, and this is going to be a figure news segment. So let's get right on into that. So in the figure news segment, we're going to be just talking about new figures that are either up for pre-order or just have been announced. I'm going to go over these. I'm going to put a picture on the screen of whatever we got. So if you're interested in that, go check them out for the pre-orders. And if you're just curious about the ones that are up for that I'm announced, or I'm showing off that have been announced, I will update you once they're available for pre-order. So stay tuned for that. But the first one here is a really fun one here, and this is Ban Presto Oshinoko figures. These are bride figures, and these look really cool. Now, they've done this before for other series like Quintessential Quintuplets and everything like that. So they're not new necessarily, but they are interesting if you're interested in these. I know a lot of people liked the Quintessential Quintuplets ones, so there you go. I don't know if these are out yet. They have been announced. Probably they're up for pre-order somewhere. Give them a few weeks, they'll be up for pre-order. I'll try to keep an eye out for them, but I haven't seen anywhere yet. So that's why I'm putting them in the announced segment, not in the up for pre-order segment, but they're coming. Also being announced was a bunch of Gushing Over Magical Girls figures. We also got some news that they're going to have an announcement later in the year. I didn't put it in the news segment because it's basically just they're going to have an announcement later in the year. It could be nothing, could be a season 2, don't know. But they are making a lot of figures. This series is very popular. They're going to have a Kiwi figure, which we've already gotten news that a Kiwi figure is coming. So this is another Kiwi figure, I assume, which is fine. Another Bezier figure. So the main girl, we're getting another one of her. This will be the 3rd figure that we're getting of her. And a magenta figure. Now this one is an interesting one because it's the first of magenta that we're going to be getting. And it is not a standard magenta. It is the version of her from the episode to where Bezier and her fight for multiple times. And obviously knowing how the series goes, she thinks that she's going to outsmart her by putting little heart pasties over her downstairs region and over her upstairs private parts, and that really doesn't do anything. So this figure is probably going to be very, very lewd. But hey, I'll buy it because I'm just curious how they'll do this. Because it could be either really good or it's going to look really bad, in my opinion. Because skin is just so hard to pull off, especially if there's no like breaks in it or whatever. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to check this out because that is one that I'm very interested in how they're going to do it. Because even this picture here, it does not, like, it's all hidden. So, and it's just a 2D drawing here. We'll see. We'll see how they do this. Will it be a cast off? I don't know why. This is like one where I'm like, you don't need a cast off of this one because they don't fall off of this one. So I'm fine if it's not a cast off. This is one I'm like, yeah, it's fine if it's just this. So we'll see. We'll see. But that is all of the announced ones. Let's go on into some that are available for pre-order right now. Now, if you want to pre-order these and you want to pre-order some other figures or buy some in-stock figures, you can check a link down in the description for Entertainment Earth. Entertainment Earth is a site that I am affiliated with. Not, I'm not telling you have to go buy from them, but I do recommend them. They're one that I have bought many things from. Every time that I have bought from them, I've never had any problems with shipping or anything, so I do recommend them. But you can click that link down in the description. It will give you 10% off of anything in stock, and every order does help out this channel. Helps me buy more things that I can show off to you every time that I buy something. So thank you if you do that. But anyway, here is some figures that are available for pre-order. The first one here is the new series that is like the VTuber forgot to turn off her stream and went viral, is getting an Android. I didn't expect this, but they are making one, and I'm very excited about it because I think it might be pretty cool. I think there's a lot you could do with this because there's a lot that goes on in this series, so I'm curious how this one will turn out. I mean, it looks good from the pictures, so we'll see, but really cool there. Another Konosuba figure is a Nindroid of Iris. I don't know. It's this one. But it's another Konosuba figure. I have 6 of them up there. I have Wiz over here that needs to be unboxed. So that's 7 of them. There, I have the other one that is the little blonde girl. She's been announced already, so we're up to 8 from that series now, and there's still more characters they could do. So very interested to see where that line goes. A few My Dress Up Darling figures are on the way and up for pre-order now. There is a Marin Succubus figure. If you're into that and you think this was a good outfit, you can go get that, and I think it's pretty cool. And then a Marin Nindroid that I am kind of split on. In some sense, I think it's pretty good. In some sense, I'm like, did we need this? Could you have done... Like, there's so many cosplays of Marin. The Succubus. The one to where she's, like, real tanned. You could have done that. There's so many different... That's the whole point of the show. Dress Up Darling. Why do we need this, like, casual Marin? I think we could have done all the different outfits, and then you could have came back and did this later if you wanted to. I just don't see the point of it right now. Kind of odd in my opinion, but that's just me. But that is... No, we have one more. We have a Diver Diva Love Live set. This is a set I've been very, very excited for because these are 2 of my favorite characters from Love Live. As you might have watched in a podcast a few weeks ago, I was actually talking about this set being announced a while back, and now it's finally up for pre-order. I have pre-ordered both of them already, but they are coming out next year, so very excited about those 2. But that is it for the the figure segment here for what is available for pre-order. Obviously, I'm recording this on Saturday, so anything that is announced between Sunday and next Saturday, I will tell you about next week, so stay tuned for that. If you want to pre-order any of these, don't forget Entertainment Earth down in the description. You can click on that and go pre-order all of these or anything else. There are tons of other pre-orders that I didn't mention here, whether that be smaller things, bigger things, whatever. It's just these are the things that I talk about that you might be interested in, so that is what I'm mentioning here. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about our topic of the week. So this week's topic is a bit of a different one. Now, a while back, I made a video, or I made a short, talking about my opinion on what the top 10 strongest Attack on Titan characters were. This was very controversial at the time, and I never really understood why. And I never wanted to make a video because I felt like it was just unnecessary, but because I have a podcast now, I can talk about it here and explain my reasoning here. So real quick, I will go over that top 10, and then I will kind of explain each entry, why I put them there, why I might change my opinion on a few of them, and yeah. So at this is, by the way, this is top 10 strongest. It is not my favorite. It is not smartest. It's not anything like that. Now, intelligence plays into strong. You can't be all muscle, no brain, but it is in terms of who would win in a fight most times out of 10, maybe. So in number 10 is Reiner. Now, this is the only one that I could make an argument for against. Now, my reasoning for putting Reiner on this list is because I'm going to give you a big secret that I learned about when having an anime account on Twitter for 4 years. When you make a top 10, top 25 list, whatever, your first entry is always a really popular character. Doesn't matter if it's really your last pick, you just put them there. And that's what I did here. In reality, you could make a case that Hanji would beat Reiner. Probably she would. You could make a case that Porco in the Jaw Titan could beat Reiner. He probably would. And then, Peak, Cart Titan, probably wouldn't, but you could still make an argument. There's a lot of them you could make an argument could be stronger than Reiner. In reality, Marcel, the original Jaw Titan before it was eaten by Ymir, probably would beat this bottom two anyway. But because I didn't know anything about Marcel, I just didn't put him on the list. That's probably why Reiner's here. So, should Reiner be number 10? Probably not, but I put Reiner at number 10. Number 9. Now, this one I stand by pretty good. That is Annie. Annie is the female Titan. Female Titan is a really underrated Titan, in my opinion, because in Season 1, everybody is terrified of the female Titan. I mean, she decimates the scouts. And we don't see her again until Season 4. And here's my thing that I have about the female Titan, is that that the scouts that survived went back, told stories about the female Titan. She was terrifying. She just, kicked us and just destroyed us. And then she's gone. And then all of a sudden, she reappears in Season 4 against the scouts, or the Jaegerists at that point, again. And you just imagine that these people have heard stories about the female Titan, and they're absolutely terrified that she's back. There's the Armor Titan. We've fought him a few times now, but we've not faced her, and we've heard about her. So even though they have better technology, you still know that the fear that the female Titan brings is probably higher than any of them. In my opinion, the female Titan could be arguably the most scariest Titan. But that's just my opinion. And Annie's a great candidate for it. Like Reiner, not really a great candidate for the Armor Titan. He works, but we don't really know how good of an Armor Titan could have been. He's a great character, but Annie, great female Titan. Probably makes the best out of the female Titan. We know she has the hardening ability, like the Warhammer Titan. She has the ability to call on other Titans, like the Beast Titan. So Annie, as a whole, is much, much stronger than people want to give her credit for. A lot of these top 10 don't include Annie. I think she deserves to be here. Maybe she could be 10. Maybe you could put Marcel at 9. But I think Annie deserves to be 9 at least. But number 8 was one that a lot of people was like, no, she shouldn't be here. And that's Mikasa. Now, Mikasa is one of 2 characters on this list that are not Titan shifters. They are just regular people. But I don't think you can put that for them either, because Mikasa is an acronym. There's obviously another acronym on this list in a little bit. And actually, I debated putting Kenny above Reiner, but I ended up not putting Kenny because I think both Mikasa and Levi, that we'll get to in a little bit, are stronger than Kenny. And Mikasa really shines later in the season, or later in the series. Mikasa at the beginning probably could not go up against a Titan of her own, but I think Season 4 Mikasa and really determined Mikasa could beat Annie. I think if you were to go female Titan versus Mikasa, I think it'd be really close, but I think she could probably do it. We know Season 1, Mikasa and Levi could beat Annie. So I don't see why not that Season 4 Mikasa alone could beat Annie. I just think it's very possible, because Titan shifters, yes, they can learn a little bit more, and obviously, like, you're going to anyway, but with, like, hand-to-hand combat, out of Titan abilities, I think you learn a little bit more. Your ceiling is much higher than a Titan ceiling. Like, once you learn the basics of being a Titan, you're really not going to suddenly gain another ability unless you inherit another Titan, which we'll get to. But anyway, that is number 8. Number 7, this was an interesting one as well, and that is Zeke, the Beast Titan. Now, there's a big jump, in my opinion, from Mikasa to Zeke. Like, if I said how many, small Titans could each of these take down, like, these bottom 3, maybe 10, maybe 20. I think Zeke could take down 50. No struggle either. So, Zeke is Beast Titan. He's the best Beast Titan that seemingly they ever had, because they really talk about how bad the Beast Titan was until Zeke came along. Now, obviously, he has royal blood, makes him a little better, but still. Now, why is Zeke number 7? Well, that's something we'll talk about as we move on, but I think overall, there's just no list that you could make that doesn't include Zeke. Honestly, this is probably the only part of this list that no one really questioned. Zeke deserves to be on this list. He's a fantastic character, fantastic Beast Titan, terrifying, and also really good in combat, really good at battle strategy. Obviously, he got beaten by Erwin. Obviously, he got outed by Armin. So, he's not perfect. He's not Erwin Armin level, but he's up there. So that's why he is number 7. Now, number 6 is the other Ackerman, and that is Levi. Now, I put him above Zeke because, obviously, he beat Zeke twice. Now, obviously, the second time, he probably was a little bit helped. Like, that was kind of the plan. But the first time, he beat him outright. Yeah, he needed help, but I still think if Zeke had no help, then Levi's probably going to be able to figure out how to do it. And obviously, he found out how to do it in the forest, so, and that was like an outright fight, I guess. I forgot about that one. So, yeah, Levi easily beats Zeke. Now, in terms of human abilities, and I know Ackerman abilities is higher than that, but Levi, no real question. He beats Eren out of Titan. He beats Mikasa. He beats all the other scouts out of Titan abilities easily. No question about that. But I don't think he could beat these top 5 alone. And number 5 is Laura Tiber in the Warhammer Titan. This is a tough one because obviously the Warhammer Titan is known to be probably at least the second strongest. You could make an argument it's the strongest. We know that the Warhammer Titan is what ended the Great Titan War, so it is very strong. It is the last Titan we were introduced to, and it pretty much just is like unbeatable unless you have a Jaw Titan to use as a can opener. And so obviously, it took Eren a little bit of help to be able to defeat the Warhammer Titan. This is with him having a founding Titan he really can't use and an attack Titan. So, yeah. Now, talking about Laura herself, Laura is not that good of a host for the Titan or Titan shifter because she just doesn't use it. They don't really use the Warhammer Titan because they kind of they're more passive. They're trying not to be involved in wars. They're trying not to do anything. And this is the declaration of war. So really this was going to be the first battle for Laura. And she loses. So we don't really get to see a lot of what Laura could do. But I still think there's no way Levi could beat her. I think all the 4 above her probably could, especially in their highest form. But it'd be close. Especially these next 2. I think a better Warhammer Titan could be number 3. But not... No, they're not. 1v1, I just think these 2 above her could beat her. But another Warhammer Titan, yeah, they probably could. Number 4. Now, this is where the biggest, outrage came from. And this is my number 4 and number 3 pick. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you now. It's both Colossal Titans. And in number 4, I put Armin. And in number 3, I put Bertolt. Now, why did I put Armin below Bertolt? Because Armin beat Bertolt. Armin only beat Bertolt because Eren helped him. And if Bertolt is just a 1v1 fight, I don't think he's not going to beat him. I think even if they were both able to have Colossal Titan abilities, I still think Bertolt wins. And my main thing is because Bertolt was specifically chosen out of many candidates, I'm sure, to be the Colossal Titan. Armin probably was a really good candidate, but he probably would not beat Bertolt in being the best candidate. Obviously, Armin's Colossal Titan is much scrawnier than Bertolt's. Bertolt's is much more beefy. I think in terms of, durability, I think Bertolt wins. In terms of like an outright fight, I think Bertolt wins. Obviously, spoilers. I don't know why you'd still be here if you didn't ever watch Attack on Titan, but spoilers. Eren and his Colossal Titan beat Armin's. No question. He punched his face off. But if I think the same thing would happen with Bertolt versus Armin. Is Armin smarter? 100%. 100%. No questions asked. But Bertolt is a better Colossal Titan shifter. Is Armin the Colossal Titan we needed at that time? Absolutely. Armin as a person is a much better person than Bertolt. If it's a person versus person, if it's a fight, Bertolt still wins. If it's a strategic fight, Armin wins every day. That's why I put them that way. Bertolt was a really, really strong Titan. And at his highest, which he was in Season 3, he's unbeatable. I mean, unless you have pretty much your strongest mental character going up against your most headstrong, your smartest character teaming up with your most headstrong main character, fighting that guy. Any other situation, Bertolt wins. So that's why I put Bertolt there. Could you argue one way or the other? Yeah, maybe, but I just think Bertolt wins. That's just my opinion. Now, they're not going to beat either one of these top two, though. No chance. Because number 2, and this is my other big controversy, and everybody was like, there's no way. I don't get this. How do you not put these two in the order that they will be? Number 2 is Eren. Yeah, Eren has the power of the Founding Titan. He had the Warhammer Titan. He had the Attack Titan. And number 1 is Ymir Fritz. Because Ymir had all 9. She had every Titan ability. She was the original Titan. I don't know how you don't realize this. Even at her worst, she's still all 9. She has every ability. She can do whatever. And yeah, mentally, she's not as strong as Eren. She's not as strong as Armin. She's probably not as strong as any of these. Probably all of these are more mentally there than Ymir is. Ymir is a child, pretty much. But, it's just she's insane on what she could do. We see her Titan, and it's just we see Eren in his Titan form with the Founding Titan, and it's massive. And assuming that probably what people think is that the Eren we see at the ending, the Colossal Titan, is pretty much his Founding Titan. I think the Ymir's Titan beats that. She's just so this is a terrifying Titan, by the way. But in my opinion, you get a Ymir Titan and is somehow able to fight Eren's Titan, Ymir wins. And then ignoring all that, like ignoring the fighting thing and everything, Ymir seemingly gave Eren the founding titan. Like, without her giving him basically, hey, yeah, I'll let you use it. He don't have it. So all these characters, minus Levi and Mikasa, she could just be like, you're not a Titan anymore. I'm not going to rebuild you. Yeah, she's cursed or whatever. Whatever. In my opinion, there's no way you can talk your way out of Ymir being the strongest. I just don't see it. You can argue with me all day that Bertolt should be below Armin. And I'll probably, 9 chances out of 10, I'll probably say, yeah, sure. I don't blame you. You can agree with that. But in my opinion, there's no way Ymir loses to any other Titan. No chance. No chance. So anyway, that is my top 10. Like I said, could you have put Marcel on this list? Absolutely. Could you put Porco on this list? Maybe. Could you put Hanji on this list? Yeah. Erwin? Maybe. I don't think he's going to win in a fight, but, strategically, probably. But, that's just me. What other series do you think I should do this with? I've heard there's so much debate about Demon Slayer on, like, who's the strongest Hashira. I agree with some of it. I don't agree with some of them. So maybe that's another list we'll make someday. But anyway, that is my top 10. What did you think? Do you understand my reasoning? Are you like, no, you're wrong? Let me know down below. Let me know if I'm wrong still, or if you're like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that. So anyway, that is my list, and let's get right on into the next segment, which is the Q&A segment. Now, the Q&A segment this week is a little bit different because I had some problems with it because some people decided they would rather make it not fun. And I'm not going to talk about it because they're all a bunch of kids that are stupid. But anyway, we only have one question this week, unfortunately. So if you'd like to ask some questions, ask them down below. I have had to restart it, but we're going good now. So we should be able to get more questions very soon. But anyway, ask them down below. There'll be a link down in the description. You can ask your questions if you're so interested. But anyway, my one question this week was, who was my first waifu? Now, I think I've brought this up before, but it was Ruka from Rent a Girlfriend. My original Twitter account, before I turned it into Slice of Anime, was Ruka Gang 20. Ruka Gang 2020. That was what I started off as. And I really liked Ruka. She was the character, like Rent a Girlfriend was one of the first anime I watched. It was technically the first anime I watched, but then I finished Wataten first. But Ruka was the character that I really liked. She's introduced in like episode 4 or 5, I think, and I really liked her. So she was my first waifu that you'd like to call it. But anyway, like I said, that's the only Q&A question I had this week because of all the stuff that went on. So yeah, if you'd like to ask any questions, ask them down below. I will give you a shout out as your name, and I'll read it on screen if you'd like to do that. Or you can ask it anonymously if you click that link. So do whatever, and I'll answer more next week. Now, before I go, let's talk about what will be coming next week. Now, we do have 2 really fun videos, and then one video I'm still working on, but I think I'll be able to get it done this week. And that is the Sound Euphonium video, which is coming on Wednesday. I am very close to having it done, a script written for it. It's not really a script, it's just an outline of what I want to talk about. There's a lot I want to talk about, so I tried to write it all down, but then I went back, I watched some things, and then I'm like, I want to talk about that too. But I'm trying to make it like an hour-long video. I'm trying to make it like 30 minutes max. So we're going to talk about that, but should be out on Wednesday. If not, there's another video that I'm thinking about making, but I don't think that one will be ready. So probably the Sound Euphonium video. Should be the Sound Euphonium video. But then on Monday, we're going to talk about another thing for Attack on Titan, and that is, I'm pretty sure we got the last Attack on Titan Funko Pop ever just a few days ago. So we're going to talk about that. Did we get the final one in the collection? And if so, how did the collection stack up? And was it a good final pop, or are we going to get more? That's a good question. And I'll answer it there, or try to at least. And then finally, on Friday, with July coming to an end, it is time for another July collection update. I'll show you everything that I got in July, which is quite a bit actually. It was more than I expected. Some really fun stuff, including this Shinobu from SDCC, which I put a short out of that really performed better than I thought. So usually the pop videos don't do that well, but this one did. So thank you if you watched that. Besides that, there'll be more shorts. There is obviously. We've got the Chainsaw Man pops. I'm getting a few of them in, so you'll probably see shorts of them this week. And you'll also see the Attack on Titan shorts. They'll probably take a few days off while this video and then the other video, both being Attack on Titan related, those, I don't want to put one in between them, but they'll be back soon, the little cat ones. So stay tuned for that. And many more to come, including, not this week, but next week will be my 4-year anime anniversary. So I am going to give you another room collection update. Now I know I did one of these back in January, but that was because the channel was brand new. I wanted to have a collection room update out then, but this is going to be a 4-year anniversary collection update. So stay tuned for that. That'll be out not this coming week, but the following week. So stay tuned for that. And that's about it. We'll be back next Sunday with another Slice of Anime podcast. That will be episode 8. We might have a guest as well. Not a big guest, just a fun guest. So stay tuned for that. And anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if you enjoyed or not. And I will talk to you guys next time.